Man, I got so much stuff I want to talk about. Let me switch it up so y'all don't really think I'm rocking one outfit, but I'm kind of rocking one outfit because I'm doing all these videos and like one day because there's so much shit in my mind. So I'm putting the hoodie on just to mix it up a notch. All right. Okay. So I have another idea that came to my mind, and I want to talk about this. Being red pill on a job and or like it's twofold. I can make two separate videos on it. Like one, you can never be like, but I'm gonna keep it focused on this one. I love talking about red pill content. I love watching it and consuming it. Behind closed doors with my homeboys and stuff. But for those of you who like to bring that type of shit to work, because it's like, you look like a conspiracy person. You know what I'm talking about. You always got that one guy at your job who talk about UFOs and all that crazy shit, or Illuminati with rapping and, crazy stuff like that. If not one, you got plenty. There's always these people on the job. Now, definitely you're gonna run into that too because the red pillars we're kind of considered in that same class and group of people. Even though I just think red pill content is more rooted in truth and reality than the other stuff is all what if scenarios and there could be and is there, or what do you think of that? Like it's real just fun, entertaining bullshit that don't really mean anything. But red pill, I feel like it's rooted in something. But besides all that, I feel like when science, right? Red pill is a mixture on a job, but not a solution to most problems on the job. It's a mixture, but not a solution. Like in science, a solution is like when you take two things that can dissolve and can't be divided or filter out from one another. Like, what's a good example? Like sugar and water. Like you throw sugar in the water and you keep stirring that bad boy, the sugar will dissolve into the water. Whereas that's a solution. That's more of like a solution because it takes a lot to kind of separate that after it's been dissolved into the water. You just got sugar water. Now, when you take that example and mix it with like water and oil, they don't mix together. The oil will go to the top, sit at the top. They didn't never fully, dissolve into the water and vice versa. Red pill kind of has that effect on a 9 to 5 job. That's why I don't recommend men talking or speaking on red pill matters at a job. But it's okay to apply some of the red pill knowledge and philosophy at work. I've done that numerous occasions. The only reason why it doesn't really work too well is because there's a lot of blue pill stuff in the workforce. Like for instance, hate speech and stuff like that. You can't talk against other groups of people, other races and stuff like that, and be prejudiced on the job. There go a blue pill thing right there. If you're working on a job, you're already in an artificial environment. There go another blue pill thing right there. That blue pill element right there. Because let's be real, we're around people that we probably would not have normally been around in if we had to choose our setting. For instance, if you're black, you're more than likely race hangs with their race for the most part. Even though we should be more mixture, everybody should be getting along, let's just call it is. Because if you just look at it from a jail standpoint, how the jail looks, the whites are with the whites, Spanish people are with the Spanish people, and the blacks are with the blacks. Then it gets divided by gangs after that point within their own race, and then trust and believe if a race is against another race, that gang shit go out the window. They're going to team up and go against that race in particular, for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. So tribalism and stuff like that exists. People just does that. It's a natural human thing. That element is just there. So like I said, that's just a good example of telling you why you can't really use red pill on a job too well. It's a mixture. It can help in certain situations when applied, but you just cannot really full blown just think you can incorporate red pill knowledge inside of a job because you're going to run into a lot of problems, which ultimately will get you fired. It is some talking points you just don't need to talk about, especially depending on where you at in your demographic. Like a good example, I had a guy at my job. He loved the red pill content, man. Like this dude was so insanely in love with red pill content, and he was a black brother. So he was more into like the save yourself black men and the Ed Moore type stuff, passport bros and shit like that. Cause this is around the time I think during COVID, and a little after, a little and into COVID during the pandemic, whatnot. He was taught. He said, cause I got a ball. I lost my hair early in life. 28. I think I started losing my hair at like 20. But anyway, or 19. But anyway, moral of the story was, me and him was talking, and with a hat on and a beard or whatever. I kind of favor, what's that guy name? The Luke Cage guy from the Netflix series. So I was like, yeah, he told me I did, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever, man. I was like, man, all like all people, all black, bald, dark skinned men look the same, but whatever. I didn't know how to take it. I just kind of just took it as a compliment, I guess, or whatever. And then he was like, hey, man. Meanwhile, we work around nothing but black women. He was like, hey, man, he married to a white girl, right? And I'm like, okay. I'm on a laptop just sitting there chilling. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, because I guess he wanted peace, you know what I mean? And then I already knew where he was going with that. And then the black girls looked at him like, what the fuck did this dude just say? And I was like, oh man, I had to try to blow it off. I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. But I mean, let's not talk about that like right now. I'm getting back to work. Then I pulled him to the side, like, bro, what you doing? You can't talk about shit like that. Like, I fuck with it. I fuck with what you said somewhat. I just don't think it's the setting and the way you're saying it. It doesn't sound right, politically correct. There you go, running into an issue right there. Then he had another off the wall situation where a girl, we were around nothing but girls. He comes into the job and he noticed a girl come behind him and she dressed like it's a club or something. The only reason why I think she could get away with it is because we was in a warehouse and it was a chill warehouse setting. Like we were on our computers and tablets and we're just picking orders for dashers and people for Uber and stuff like that. So it's a real chill, laid back environment. So she could dress however she want to dress because it really doesn't impact how we work for the most part. So, and there was no real dress code at that job. So I ain't gonna lie, she was dressed like she might have came from the club the night before because it's early in the morning when they work. So I doubt she's like doing it on purpose. But moral of the story, she might have had a little fun, hit the club, woke up somewhere, and said, "Oh fuck, I gotta get to work," and went on and got to work. Speeding up the story, he saw her and he was like, man. He's like, come here, let me talk to you. He's like, I see what you're doing. You're trying to get male validation, but you're not going to get my validation from me. And I'm like, if you really on the red pill spectrum with this shit, you're supposed to implement that, not tell her what you're trying to implement. You do the teaching, you practice the teaching, you don't teach the teaching to let alone to someone who's obviously doing what you said they're doing. I agree with him. She was looking for attention. Whether it been she wanted one of these dashers to snatch her or stuff like that, or where she wanted somebody at work to snatch her. He could have just ignored that though and practiced the teaching instead of teaching the teaching to her and telling her of the teaching. And it was just like, dude, it's like, come on, man. It's like you can't do that. You can't do that. So, moral of the story of this video, what I'm trying to get at is red pill is a mixture at the job environment. It works in certain pockets. Like, in that situation, he was just better off just doing the practice instead of telling her the teaching of what he knows and what she's trying to do. It was clear as day what she was trying to do, and I agreed with him. But telling her that is not going to make the situation better. Moral of the story, he ended up getting fired later on. They were just coming up with any excuse to get rid of him. But it's like, he became like the conspiracy theory motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I get it. We get the red pill knowledge. You get to be more aware of how to engage certain situation, female nature and all that shit. But don't bring it to work. Like you might have your group of men that you could talk to on that, but don't make it public knowledge that that's what y'all share. It's kind of like one of them things, man. Like, and you don't. It's not a situation where it's like how you say, like a hotep thing or like woke black shit. You can't really do that at the job. You're not finna just, you can't force people to wake their eyes up and stuff like that and this, that, third. That's what YouTube is for. That's what social media is for. You do that with them and your like-minded peers when you're at work. Never try to swing nobody's ideology towards your direction at work, because that's going to cause conflict, especially if that person is already chose the side and not to be on that side. You really just asking for problems. So, like I said, red pill is a mixture at the job, not the solution. I implemented red pill knowledge in multiple ways. Like when girls do what she did, I just ignore the fuck out of them. As a man, you shouldn't, don't let your dick get you in trouble. So I had to suppress that. I'm like monk mode when I'm at work. I have to suppress my sexual urges and stuff like that. Like I see a girl that's attractive, you want to look. I might catch a peep and stare here and there, but there's certain ways you got to engage the work environment, especially if you're on your mission, you're on your purpose, you're on your grind. You can't let your dick get you in trouble, because these girls, you fuck something, y'all fucking here and there. But most dudes, even though they claim to be red pill and all that, we're more to the blue pill. We're more blue pillish in our ways. Like, you will go fuck that girl at work, and she fine as fuck. She give you some coochie, you fuck her once or twice, and she fine. You don't know she a hoe until maybe after the fact, when she's tired of you and she ready to move on to the next person. And you want that thing back, and you don't want nobody to fuck it. Like, you feel like you got a hold on it and all of that. Like, I ran into that, seen it on the job plenty of times, and I even had fell victim to that not too long ago. I tried to do some shit like that. I was dick policing a girl, but it wasn't like there was anybody at my job that could take her from me. And that's not my ego. It's just that the way the job was set up, I was one of the only males at the job. But I mean, like, I was so worried about, because she was so attractive. I was worried about her getting snatched by somebody else on the outside. But had I maintained my red pill teachers, I would have never fucked her in the first place. She shouldn't have been fucked and touched in the first place. But she was so pretty, I let my dick get the best of me. But the moral of the story is red pill in the workplace does not work well. There's certain things you can implement, and you can implement it in the workplace. And I will talk on some more things that you can implement in the workplace that are kind of red pillish in nature. And it only applies in those settings and situations and in ideologies and perspectives I'm going to give you.